All right, welcome to Big Time Basketball, the basketball segment of the Fantasy Fanatics Podcast. I'm your host once again, James, and I'm joined once again by Nate and Mete. What's up, guys?
So
How's it going?
All right, in today's episode, we're just going to recap some of the games from Sunday. Then we'll take a look at some of the scores from Monday and recap any of the games if they finished. And then we'll just move right into our fantasy basketball pickups for the week. There's a lot of big names to be picking up there, so we'll talk about that. And then we'll just move right into the preview for Tuesday's games. We'll look at some of the spreads, and we'll just see, I guess, where each team's at, and I guess projecting the winners for those games. So let's just hop right into it. We'll start with Sunday's games. We'll start with the first one here. It was the Dallas Mavericks beating the Sacramento Kings 105-99. Taking a look at the scores, Luka Doncic led the Mavericks with 23 points. Rashawn Holmes led the Kings with 22. Holmes also led the Sacramento with 13 rebounds, while Luka added 8 for Dallas. And then Harrison Barnes had 5 assists to lead the Kings, while Luka had 10 to lead the Mavericks. Mete, I'll get to you first on this Dallas team. I guess, what are your thoughts on them, I guess, for this game and I guess on the season?
Yeah, for this game, they did a great job finishing off the Kings. Uh, I know the Kings, they haven't made the playoffs in a long time, over a decade. So a lot of people probably will underestimate them, but I think they're a decent team. So yeah, good win. And for the season, I feel like they're pretty much the same as last year. Maybe their bench got a little better. So yeah, I'm expecting pretty much the same things from them this season. If they can win a playoff series, I think it would be a big success for the Mavericks this year.
Yeah, I definitely agree. This team has looked better. They have gotten better. And yeah, hopefully they can do something in the playoffs. Nate, I'm going to get to you on Sacramento. I guess they're sort of 500 to start the season. I know we kind of talked about that going into the year. They'd probably be around a 500 team. I guess, what are your thoughts on them so far?
I guess they're doing as well as I guess we thought so far. I guess like we've been saying for a while now, this is probably like the best Sacramento team we've seen in a long time outside of like the really old Sacramento teams from like way back in the day that made the playoffs and stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of improvement going on, so I guess hopefully they keep up this trajectory.
Yeah, I definitely agree. They have a lot of pieces there. The pieces sort of need to come together, I guess. And like we said, they're in a tough Western Conference, so it is going to be tough for them going forward. Let's just move on to the next game. Charlotte Hornets beating the Portland Trailblazers 125-113. Big game for LaMelo Ball. He led the Hornets with 27 points. CJ McCollum had 25 to lead Portland. And then Yusef Nurkic, 14 rebounds to lead Portland, while LaMelo Ball had 9 to lead the Hornets. And then Damian Lillard had 12 assists to lead Portland, while Miles Bridges had 9 to lead the Hornets. Nate, let me get to you on Charlotte. I guess, what are your thoughts on them? They seem to be playing pretty well, starting off the season 5-2. I guess sort of analyze this team.
I mean, again, this is another, I guess, successful rebuild. The Hornets, they've been kind of near the bottom of the, I guess, at least the Eastern Conference, if not the league, for years. But I guess now they've managed to turn it around with the pieces that they got, and they're a potential playoff contender.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, ever since Chris Paul left the Hornets, I mean, this team, they've just pretty much been bottom feeders ever since. But I mean, yeah, they've looked really solid so far. LaMelo Ball playing well. I mean, they have other players like Miles Bridges has really picked it up this year. You can go through their whole roster. You got Rozier, Hayward. Like, they have some solid players here. Definitely like what's been going for them so far. Mete, I'll get to you on Portland. I mean, sort of a mediocre start to the year for them as well. I guess, what are your thoughts on this team?
Yeah, mediocre for sure. They're 500 right now, 3-3. So that's the definition of mediocre. And yeah, I feel like the Blazers, they're kind of like the Mavericks in the sense that I think they're in a similar situation to last year, and I don't think they really improved that much. Honestly, they might have kind of gone a bit worse. So yeah, I think they're kind of like the Celtics in the sense that I really like their roster. They've got tremendous talent, but something doesn't uh it's just not clicking there. So I know they have Chauncey Billups. He's first year as a head coach, so maybe he just needs a little time to get adjusted and things might be better down the road for the Blazers. But right now it's kind of rough.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely haven't started out the best. The West is tough, so we can't really, I guess, harp on them too much. Hopefully, they will turn it around. And like you said, first year coach, sometimes it does take a little bit of time. So I guess we'll definitely have to see about that. Getting to the next game, Utah Jazz beating the Milwaukee Bucks, 107-95. Big game for Donovan Mitchell, 28 points to lead the Jazz. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 25 to lead the Bucks. Rudy Gobert, 13 rebounds for the Jazz. And Giannis's brother had 9 to lead the Bucks. And then we head over to the Jazz. Donovan Mitchell, 2 assists to lead the team, while Giannis had 6 to lead the Bucks. I guess Mete, I'll get to you on Utah. I mean, this team started out 5-1. They look dominant like they did last year. I guess what are your thoughts?
Yeah, very impressive. They're looking like the last year Jazz from the regular season. So yeah, 5-1, great start again. We'll just have to see how things go in the playoffs as they've got a pretty similar roster to last year. They've made some good improvements to their bench though. So yeah, I think they might be even better than last season.
Yeah, this Jazz team looks really solid. They were a wagon last year. They look like that again. They're just going to keep rolling teams going forward. I guess getting to you, Nate, on Milwaukee. I mean, no Middleton, no Holiday. This team started out 3-4. I guess what are your thoughts on this team going forward?
Yeah, I guess they're missing, I guess, a lot of depth in Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. I feel like um, those two players that kind of take the Bucks to kind of another level as good as Giannis is. I mean, even without them, they're still a pretty solid team. There's a lot of really solid pieces here. For example, like Bob Portis. I think he was another player who was injured for a while, but he's back now. So yeah, they should be pretty solid. But I guess without Middleton and Drew Holiday, it's gonna be kind of hard to see how far they go in the playoffs.
Yeah, honestly, they shouldn't be out for that long. I feel like they'll be coming back eventually. This team will sort of get things back together. They'll be a playoff team, at least they should be. And then I guess once we get to the playoffs, then we can talk about, their chances of repeating. But I think for now, yeah, we don't need to push any panic buttons on this team. They should be okay going forward. And I guess another team that's sort of turning it around, Brooklyn Nets beating the Detroit Pistons 117-91. Kevin Durant led this Brooklyn team with 23 points. Corey Joseph had 13 to lead the Pistons. And then Josh Jackson, 5 rebounds to lead Detroit, while James Harden had 10 to lead Brooklyn. And then Sadiq Bey, 6 assists to lead Detroit, while James Harden had 12 to lead Brooklyn. I mean, a really solid effort from this Brooklyn team. Triple-double for James Harden. Nate, I'll get to you. I guess, how are you liking Brooklyn so far?
To be honest, I feel like they're a little bit underwhelming this year. I was kind of expecting them to kind of be a team that's kind of like similar to the Jazz, just because of how many I guess names that are on this roster. Just like on paper, there's a lot of like players that if Brooklyn played to their full potential, there's like very few teams in the league that can beat them, but they're not really playing like that right now.
Yeah, and I mean, missing a guy like Kyle Lowry is huge. Not Kyle Lowry, Kyrie Irving. Sorry, it's huge. And yeah, I mean, when you don't have a guy talented like that in your lineup, I mean, your depth is sort of exposed a little bit. I feel like. So I guess if the guys on the bench aren't stepping up as much, like I know Bruce Brown only 2 points. I think they need more than that from him compared to what we were seeing him give them last year. So just little things like that, they just improve that. This Nets team should start rolling, no question about that. Mete, I'll get to you on Detroit. It's obvious this team's rebuilding, but I guess any thoughts on this team?
Yeah, my thoughts are, like you said, the rebuilding. So a lot of these losses are expected. I feel like specifically for this game, Isaiah Stewart, he's one of the guys I'm high on this team. Him playing 18 minutes, in my opinion, is unacceptable. He's a guy who's really talented. He should be seeing more playing time because he's got great potential. Same for Sadiq Bey. He's another guy I'm really high on. 27 minutes is solid for him, but yeah, I think he could be playing more as, like I said, it's a rebuilding team. They're probably not going to win a lot of games, so just play your younger guys and see how well they can develop.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You definitely want to be playing your young top guys. Sadiq Bey, definitely one of them. Stewart as well. Yeah, it's every game's development pretty much for these players. Just got to take it one game at a time, slowly see them grow into their roles. And then you'll sort of see that starting five sort of just come together. I guess another team that's sort of doing the same thing as Houston. They lose to the Lakers 95-85. And then Carmelo Anthony, he led the Lakers with 23 points. Eric Gordon had 17 to lead the Rockets. Christian Wood and Anthony Davis both had 13 rebounds to lead their respective teams. And then Jalen Green had 5 assists to lead the Rockets, while Russell Westbrook had 9 to lead the Lakers. Mete, I'll get to you on the Lakers. They've also turned their season around after a poor start. I guess, what are your thoughts on this team?
Yeah, another team that's been kind of underwhelming. Uh, Really similar to the Nets. They've got a lot of names, like Nate said. Uh, a lot of good players on this team. So for them to be 4-3 is kind of underwhelming. So yeah, they are turning it around lately though. So Carmelo Anthony lately, he's been huge for them, closing out games, making big shots for them. He's been great. Malik Monk, even his first game, I think he started, he had a great game. So yeah, they've got the talent. They just got to turn it around.
Yeah, I mean, they are 4-3 now. They seem to be turning it around. I don't think it's a question of whether this Lakers team is going to be a playoff team, barring injury. I feel like it's just going to be what they're going to do going into the playoffs. So, yeah, we'll definitely have to see from there. But I think the Lakers should be okay. And then getting to you, Nate, on this Rockets team, it's obvious they're still really young. I guess, what are your thoughts on this team?
I guess they're still kind of a team that's kind of like growing, if that makes sense. Another rebuilding team. There are some, I guess, players with like veteran experience, like Daniel Tice and Eric Gordon. I feel like Daniel Tice, he hasn't really been playing the best, but I feel like Eric Gordon's been pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Gordon's been solid. Christian Wood has been really solid as well. Another double double for him in this game. He's pretty much been the best player on the court for the most part for this Rockets team. Definitely like what I'm seeing from him as well. Obviously, Jalen Green still growing into his role, but he'll definitely improve with every game going forward. And yeah, that's the recap for all of the Sunday games. Let's move now into our fantasy basketball pickups for the week. We'll start with guards here. Nate, I'll get to you first. I guess who's your guard pickup for the week?
I guess for guards, you can maybe take a look at Eric Gordon. He's been pretty solid throughout the season. He is mostly a shooter, so his biggest value isn't points and threes, but um, when when he's having a really good shooting night, he can get like 20 points and he'll get like three threes. And he can give a little bit of value in other categories too, like assists. Like he'll get like maybe a couple assists a game. You might get a couple of steals. You might get a couple of rebounds, but for the most part, if you're most looking for points and threes, he's someone that you should definitely take a look at.
Yeah, for sure. He's been putting up solid point totals, so definitely someone you want to take a look at. I guess for my guard pickup of the week, I have Luke Kennard. He plays shooting guard, small forward in Yahoo leagues. Honestly, he's been really hot. He's been shooting a lot of threes. He's been making a lot of threes. He's been getting close to 20 points a game. He'll also should improve your percentages as well. So I guess if you're sort of lacking in those categories, he'd be a great pickup. Deep leagues, he should be owned already. and I guess shallow leagues, definitely take a look at him as he's a great ad for the week. And then Mete, I'll get to you for your guard pickup for the week.
So for guard, I have Monte Morris from the Denver Nuggets. Point guard and shooting guard eligibility on Yahoo leagues, and it's currently 30% owned. So you could probably find him in most leagues on the waiver wire. I think he's a good pickup because right now Jamal Murray, he's not playing for the Nuggets, so Monte Morris, he's filling in for him. He's the starting point guard there, and he's getting around 30 minutes a game. So yeah, he's got a lot of minutes, a big opportunity for him to put up numbers. He gets solid points, steals. His assists are okay, but like it's not the greatest numbers. But I like him the fact that he's on the Nuggets. He's on a good team. He's playing point guard, so he's got the assists and steals potential, and yeah, he's out there for 30 minutes a night. So it's a waiver wire pickup. He doesn't have the craziest numbers, but for a waiver guy, he's really solid.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely someone that should be owned without much playing time. I mean, Jamal Murray doesn't look like he's going to be coming back anytime soon. So definitely a guy you should be jumping on, especially in standard leagues and deep leagues. Getting to forwards now, I guess bouncing to you, Nate, who's your forward pickup for the week?
I guess for the week, you can maybe take a look at Franz Wagner. He's, I guess, a player that's been really hot so far. He's been having really good scoring nights, especially for a guy off the waiver. He's about 49% rostered right now, so you're gonna want to hurry and pick him up before he's not on the waiver anymore.
Yeah, for sure. And getting to my forward pickup for the week, I have Matisse Thybulle. He plays shooting guard and small forward. He's one of these guys. If you're playing in a 9 category league or a 10 category league, whatever kind of league you have, if it's categories, he's getting like steals, blocks. He's doing all of the little things that sort of, I guess, improve on those small categories. And I guess with the minutes he's been getting, he's definitely a guy you should be adding. He definitely should be on pretty much every roster in standard category leagues. Definitely go pick up this guy. You're not going to regret it, and he's going to be really solid for you. And then getting to you, Mete, I guess who's your forward pickup for the week?
Yeah, so for forward, I have Grayson Allen from the Milwaukee Bucks, shooting guard and small forward eligibility for Yahoo, and currently 42% owned. So he might not be there for you. He's having a great season right now. He's ranked 53 on Yahoo, so for categories. So yeah, he's making 3.3 threes a game. He's looking like Ray Allen out there, shooting the lights out. He's also another guy. He's out there for 30 minutes a game. He's starting for the Bucks. So yeah, definitely take a look at Allen. He's having a great year.
Yeah, for sure. And Nate, we're gonna get to centers now. I guess who's your center pickup for the week?
I guess for the week, you can maybe look at Dwight Powell in, I guess, deeper leagues. He gets some, I guess, pretty solid numbers some weeks, and then some weeks he doesn't. So he's a little bit streaky, but again, for deep leagues, I think he's a pretty solid ad.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And getting to my center pickup of the week, I have Bobby Portis again. Obviously, he's only played 2 games so far, I guess, since coming back from injury. And I mean, in his most recent game, perfect free throw. He's had field goal over 0.400 every single game. Last game, he had 15 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. He made a 3. And I mean, he's just been solid coming off the bench for this Bucks team. They have injuries, so he's going to play. So if you pick him up, he's going to get you minutes at the center spot. Hopefully his minutes peak over into the 20s or maybe even 30s going forward. But yeah, he's definitely a solid option. And yeah, he's only around 40% rostered in Yahoo League. So definitely go jump on this guy. And then Mete, I'll get to you now. I guess who's your center pickup for the week?
Yeah, so for center, I have James Wiseman from the Golden State Warriors. Center eligibility on Yahoo currently 43%. And yeah, he hasn't played a game yet, but he just got cleared for full practice today. So all his limitations are being lifted. He'll be back soon and a couple weeks probably. Their starting center right now, Kawan Looney, he's seeing like 15 minutes a night. So I think Wiseman comes in, takes the starting center job, and yeah, he didn't have the greatest year last season, but he's in his second year. So with the young guys, they've got great ceilings. Definitely worth a pickup.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Definitely, he's young. He definitely has something to prove. And I mean, if he breaks out and you pick him up, you look like a genius. So definitely go take a look at him and go pick him up. And that's pretty much the end for our fantasy basketball pickups for the week. Let's just move into previewing the Tuesday game slate. We'll take a look at some of the games here, take a look at the spreads, and sort of predict the winners here. I'll start with the first game here. Milwaukee Bucks at the Detroit Pistons. The Bucks are favored by 5 points right now. Mete, I'll get to you first. I guess who are you liking here?
Definitely going with the Bucks. I know they're struggling. They've been without Lopez, Holiday, Middleton for a couple games, but yeah, 5 points is not that much. Pistons, they're rebuilding, so yeah, I'm liking the Bucks.
Yeah, I think this line might move, but right now 5 points. I definitely would side with the Bucks as well. They definitely should get the job done here. I guess Nate, what are your thoughts on the spread?
I feel like as long as the spread is under 10 points, it should be safe to pick the Bucks. 5 was extremely doable for the Bucks right now.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement there. Let's move to the next game. We got the Miami Heat at the Dallas Mavericks. It's a good game here. It looks like the consensus spread right now is 1.5, favoring Dallas at home. Nate, I'll get to you first on this one. I guess who do you like here?
I guess it might sound weird, but I feel like you could go with the Heat on this one. I feel like they should be able to keep up with Dallas.
All right. And then Mete, I'll just bounce to you. I guess who do you like here?
Yeah, I think I like the Heat as well. They're on the plus side, so they don't have to win, and I expect this to be a close game, so I'd go with the Heat.
Yeah, honestly, this game will probably be pretty close. It's honestly just going to depend on the direction that the spread moves. If Dallas becomes more heavily favored, I might go with Miami, but I feel like, Dallas being at home, I think I have to side with them here. Definitely have been really solid to start the year, so I think I'm going to go with Dallas. And then moving to the Sacramento Kings against the Utah Jazz. The Jazz are favored by 9 points here. Mete, I'll get to you. I guess which side are you on?
9 points is kind of it's not too much, but it's getting up there. So it's kind of a tough call, but maybe go with the Jazz. They've been really good this year. Super reliable. They're at home, so yeah, I think I'd go with the Jazz.
All right, Nate, getting to you. Spread is 9. Utah's favored. I guess which side are you on here?
Uh, if it was less than 9, I would have said go with the Jazz. I mean, it's going to be really tough to say, but I mean, I guess just ride the wave until the Jazz prove that they can't cover anymore.
Yeah, I feel like the Jazz are a team. They're just going to keep covering the spread if they win the game at this point. And yeah, I think I'm going to ride with the Jazz as well. Definitely really solid right now. No disrespect to the Kings. They are a decent squad, but the Jazz are sort of on another level at the moment. And then getting to the next game, Phoenix Suns against the New Orleans Pelicans. Suns are home. They're favored by 10.5 right now. Mete, I'll get to you. I guess which side do you like here?
Yeah, I might have to go with the Suns for this one. They're 2-3 right now, but they're definitely better than that record. And 10 seems like a lot, but for basketball, it's honestly not that much. So the Suns are at home. I think they could cover this.
All right, Nate, getting to you. I guess which side do you like here?
I feel like the Suns should be better than the Pelicans on paper, so I guess I'll go with the Suns on this.
Yeah, I guess for me, I see the spreads seem to be moving further and further. I think one side even moved to 12. I guess if it keeps moving like that, I might have to go with the Pelicans, honestly. I know they haven't been great to start the year. but neither of the Suns. Maybe I give the Pelicans the benefit of the doubt here that maybe they can keep it close. Suns should still win this game, no question. But I think as the spread keeps going, I think over 10. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Pelicans here. And then moving to the last game for Tuesday night, it looks like it's a rematch here of the Houston Rockets against the LA Lakers. Of course, the Lakers won by 10 last time. The spread's 10.5, so they pretty much just left it the same as the final score from last game. Nate, I'll get to you. Do the Lakers win by same amount? Do they win by less? Do they win by more? Or maybe do the Rockets win? I guess, what are your thoughts?
It's kind of hard because you don't really know what Rockets team you're gonna get. So I guess I'll just go with the Lakers.
All right, Mete, I'll bounce to you. Are you on the Lakers 10.5, or do you like the Rockets here?
I actually might go with the Rockets. I really like their team this season. Young team, but they're not getting a lot of wins right now, but they don't have to win for this game to cover. So yeah, I think I'll go Rockets.
Yeah, I think the Rockets probably will have a better offensive showing. The Lakers might as well, so it's really tough to handicap this spread. But yeah, I think I might lean with the Rockets. I guess depending on how much this line moves. Right now, if it's over 10 points, I think it's a pretty nice way to take the Rockets there. So I'm definitely going to go with that. And then I guess before we finish up, just looking at some of the scores from Monday in the fourth quarter, the Cavaliers are leading the Hornets by 4. It looks like the Pacers are leading the Spurs. This game might be just coming down to the final few shots here. And then it looks like the 76ers are leading Portland near the end of the game as well. I guess in the third quarter, we have the Hawks leading the Wizards by 9 points. And then in the third quarter as well, we have the Celtics leading the Chicago Bulls. It looks like it's a double-digit lead now for the Celtics. And then in the third quarter, the Raptors are leading the New York Knicks. That one's also a double-digit lead as well. And then just taking a look at the next game after, it looks like the Grizzlies are leading the Nuggets. They're leading by 2. And then at halftime here, it looks like the Wolves are leading Orlando by 5 points. And then there's one game that hasn't started yet. And then it's the OKC Thunder against the LA Clippers. It starts at 10:30. And yeah, we won't be covering that game. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of big time basketball. I guess any last thoughts, Nate, I'll get to you first.
Not really too much to say, but I guess it's nice to see that teams like the Lakers are turning it around. But I'd like to kind of see teams like the Lakers or the Nets start to play to their full potential.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree. And then I guess just bouncing to you, Mete, any last thoughts?
So for the Eastern Conference, I'm really liking what I see from the Chicago Bulls. I feel like they're definitely a contender this year. They've been off to a great start. I love their team this year with the addition of Lonzo and DeMar. So yeah, they're gonna be dangerous. Watch out for those guys. And for the West, the Warriors, man, they're 5-1 as well. It's just Curry right now. Klay Thompson's coming back. Wiseman's coming back. So yeah, I feel like the Warriors will also be a contender, and I think they're a really dangerous team this season as well.
Yeah, I'm really liking also Boston being able to bounce back here on Monday's game against the Bulls. Obviously, the game's not done. We'll have to see if the Bulls can make the comeback. But yeah, it looks like Boston should be turning it around. It looks like the Hawks are turning their season around as well. And it looks like, yeah, Philly's looking pretty solid. The East is looking pretty strong this year. I definitely like some of the teams there. So hopefully we'll get more of a balance going forward between conferences. And yeah, that's pretty much the end of big time basketball this week. I guess make sure you check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Fan Podcast. We've been posting pics for NBA, NFL, NHL. Definitely go check that out. This podcast will be on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. I guess make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the bell for notifications on YouTube, leave us a review. all that good stuff. And yeah, guys, really solid way to start off the NBA season. Teams are sort of shaping out in different ways. Injuries have happened. We'll definitely have to see how things go for each team. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys on the next episode.